I got back earlier from work, and I did some food prep and stuff and shenanigans. So I figured that I would make this video now that I have some extra time, because I will be streaming tomorrow. So on Tuesday, because there's with the national holiday thing, got a day off. So it's going to be a long day of streaming, and like in almost the middle of the week for once, where I would actually stream. And then for the next week's video, I would like to tackle the topic of VTubing, the topic of VTubers and just the VTubing scene in general, how I've experienced it, what my thoughts are, things that I've seen, maybe some advice things as well, things like that, so that people can have like a little bit of an understanding, like, what it is like being a VTuber. Not that I'm known or anything like that, not that I'm like a good VTuber or something like that, but something that I would still like to address so that people also know or can kind of be prepared for some things here and there when it comes to VTubing and the experiences, what you should look out for, what you should be trying to do, this and that, stuff like that. Very simple things, but also very in-depth things when it comes to, well, my personal experiences. That will also be making you guys wary for those who would like to be a VTuber. But enough of a side tangent and enough about me. Let's talk about you guys, because again, like I said before, I asked if you guys would be willing to talk about yourself, talk about your days, your weeks, if something was going on in your life, something that you were excited for that is going to happen, stuff like that. So now I'm going to read through these replies. Some I have read a little bit here and there because of the notifications and things like that. And I will read these replies and comments on both here on Twitter and also on YouTube to reply and respond to you guys in real time. That is, at least in this video, rather than just like making it lame and just being like replying something in text. I just want to make things very connected so that you guys can see, like, hey, I do see the shit that you post, or I do see the things that you reply, or things that you post, or like DMs that you send to me. I see everything, and I want to keep making that sure and clear that everything that you send me in terms of DMs and stuff like that, replies and comments, I do read them. What I'm like supposed to read, though, because with this I wanted to keep myself like more of a spoiler free, basically, of the replies here in this case. But like for everything else or any other opportunity, I would like if you guys would like to DM me, you always can. So but yeah, also in terms of replies and stuff like that, I always read them. So don't you worry about that. But let's get into this. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but let's get into this. And let's see here. So here on Twitter, I'm just gonna check in here. There we go. Where Trigon said, okay, I'm a 34-year-old Australian man, currently full-time employed. Can't say what I do because of a can't say what I do because of an NDA, but I get to play with explosives. I own my own home. I love video games and anime, as well as historical movies set during the Napoleonic era, and been attending church regularly. That sounds interesting. Like, you get to play with explosives. What would your job be? Is like some kind of a mining thing where you just have to like blow stuff up? Something like that? Or is it like some safety demonstration stuff, or maybe some military shenanigans, like instruction things, is what I would probably think like what it could be. But now do be careful. Don't get yourself blown up. I did not know that you were Australian. So just like if I look, like I'm currently looking at the screens, I'm not looking at the model or the camera or something like that. It's because, I'm reading attentively on what I see on screen. So my bad for that. But yeah, that sounds very interesting. In terms of like the historical movies set during the Napoleonic era, like the only movie that I really know by heart would be The Patriot with Mel Gibson. In terms of games, though, I do like American Conquest Fight Back, which is like from the same studios that made the Cossack series. I really like those like very large scale battles. Like that's why I really like that game, because they were basically like there was no limit whatsoever on how many units you could have in a game. So that's why that was really fun to use. Very loud game too. A lot of gunfire and smoke and stuff like that. But yeah, then again, it's also good that you've been attending church, and do note that in terms of like church like tendency and stuff like that, while there's still importance, like for me, like I'm more Protestant, evangelic kind of Christian, thanks to my mom, which is basically like very focused on the scriptures and the teachings of Jesus rather than like the sacraments and the traditions, basically. While Catholics and like or Orthodox Catholics are very like very routine kind of things going on as well, while still being very open and stuff like that, right? But like evangelic is way more loose, I guess. And I guess Protestant and evangelic is basically like denomination of, but yeah. But good to know. I hope things are going well and hope things will go by or will continue to be very interesting with your explosive, but still do be careful. Kilt has said, all right, I'm mid-30s, been at the same job for 13 years, made a lot of bad decisions in love, taught a lot about the pitfalls of lust though, now tell me about it. Right now things are steady. I have a female friend I hang out with periodically, no prospect of more, but it's a companionship. I've probably hear like the character limits because, you know, Twitter would be like that, or let's see here. But it's a companionship I've been enjoying. She's easy to get along with and we mesh decently. Outside of that, I just am. My life is quiet, fairly mundane. I don't do much unless I can plan a breadth of time around it. Usually hanging out with friends I've known for the better part of 20 years. It's chill. And I'm happy that things are going chill. And sometimes life doesn't have to be more than just chill. You know, you can be perfectly happy with just having a chill life. There's nothing wrong with having a chill or frugal life for that matter. Like whatever makes you happy doesn't have to be something like bombastic what makes something or someone else happy. Whatever makes you happy, that's more than enough. You don't need more than that. It's always nice to have more, but it's not a must, right? Curious the little thing though here where he said, like made a lot of bad decisions in love. So have I, at least twice. So for me, that was a little bit of a wake-up call and lesson as well. And then indeed taught a lot about the pitfalls of lust. That is also something very important. Like when it comes to lust, it is a very difficult thing to break free from, because it's very easy, right? It's very easy for people to fall in that because it is accessible to basically everyone, right? The moment that you exist, the moment that you have some kind of adulthood shenanigans going on, then lust is like very accessible to literally everyone. And for me, like I've also been like victim of lust. That would be my biggest demon as well. But it's not to the point that I would let it control myself. And I feel like that's still a very good thing to be able to say, and that you also are aware of, that it doesn't control you, because the moment that it controls you and you say things that are so lustful that you would say things that literally would disrupt your IRL life basically, or your connection with other people, that's when it already becomes like, that's like a very stage 1 kind of problem with lust, that it could get to the point where you're so deep into lust that you're basically banging all kinds of things that you shouldn't, or people that you shouldn't, and also like not really having respect for yourself. And that is why I feel like lust is so easily accessible, that it is also so accessible that other people who see you lusting will also fall in that lust, right? So it's kind of like a chain reaction. And that's why also one of the main reasons why I don't really like lewd tubers or VTubers that have like over the top proportions. And I know it sounds hypocritical with the model that I'm using right now. But what I mean is that they use it like as a selling points, like a selling points of that is who they are, and they cater to that lustful audience basically. And that is what I'm like against, because you're misusing, in this case, like, you know, in this case, it would be like some kind of a model of some sort, some kind of 3D image, basically, of like, wow, look at this titties and, you know, stuff like that. But I feel like with this whole lewd tuber thing, or just lewd content in general, that it is something that people can fall into too easily, because people are so lonely, and therefore it is an easy way out. It is an easy way out to feel less lonely, but for a way shorter amount of time. It's kind of like a drug. And I've already made that comparison, that like OnlyFans or LewTubes or Fansly, all kinds of like pornographic kind of shenanigans and content, that it is literally like a drug. It's like a drug dealer that basically says like, oh, it's nothing bad, you can do this, it's fine, I will give you attention, you know it, even though they don't. Like those people who sell themselves or a 3D model, which is not even themselves, as like, you know, some kind of a sellable thing and profit off of the lonely the loneliness of people and the desire of actual love and replacing that with this lustful false image of love, I feel like that's not okay to do. And I know that there are people who are like fine with YouTubers and stuff like that have like no issue with that, and that they know what they're getting themselves into, and then that's okay. Like as long as you know what's going on and you are aware of the things that you're getting yourself into, and it doesn't become a danger to you or doesn't harm you in any way, then that's fine, right? But there are too many people, and I can speak from experience, that people have been like reaching out to me and saying the most degen shit because they are so gooner brained, so gooner wired, that they don't really get a grasp anymore of like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like this is still another person that I said some things to that maybe I shouldn't, or that they're going down these fantasies that are absolutely not healthy for them, and then it ruins them, like it kind of rewires them completely mentally wise, and then they fall down this pit, and then that's it, right? And then most of the time who profits off of that is not them, they are the victims. Like those people who post all those gooner posts and messages and send, like, for example, what I have received multiple times would be people who were literally asking me to make them my bitch and stuff like that, which again, like, it is a crazy, like, it's not only that, it's like many more people who have been like saying those kind of things are mostly from the same community. But it's just so sad to see that the fact that they say it so proudly and without shame proves to me that they are so like gooner wired that they don't see an issue with it, even though it is a very big issue. And basically, the one who profits off of that would be their quote-unquote Oshis, basically. They are profiting off of that because it's free promo, it's free money, it's free viewership, it's all that stuff. Even though they don't really care about those like people who have got so gooner brain by them. So that's why, again, it's so like this lustful thing, like lust in general, it is a very nasty demon to be fighting against. And I've had my fair share of lustful battles, basically, or battles against lust, rather. And yeah, I can speak from experience, and I don't want to go like too much into detail unless you want me to, unless you guys would like me to talk about this in detail. I don't mind if that is a request, right? So you guys let me know, like in comments or replies, if you guys would like to know about my, lustful escapades or stuff like that. Not that I had any, but more in the sense of my experiences with lust and my views on that, right? That's basically it. Junkie Parasite said, here, I'm doing good, Tabitha. Life has been good. Work is a little rocky, and I am trying to find a new job in a different field that would take me far from home. I do hope, though, that this new job, despite it being a different field, is, one, most importantly, enjoyable for you to do, because that is the most important thing that you would always want to have, is a job that you enjoy doing, first and foremost. And it doesn't have to be like your dream job. It just has to be a job of which you're thinking the day before of, I need to go to work tomorrow, right? Something like that. Not something that you're dreading like weeks before, like it's weekend, right? And that your entire Sunday is already fucked over because you're like, oh fuck, I need to go to work tomorrow. You're like, you don't want to have that. If the moment that you have that, switch jobs. Like you want to have a job that you're like okay with going to work, right? So that it isn't like a hellhole that you have to be stuck in for how many hours that you need to do anyway. So, but whatever job that it is, if it is far from home, I hope that maybe there is like some kind of accommodation or like a place that you can stay close to your work so that you don't have to go back and forth all the time unless you like traveling or just being on the road all the time. That could be. It depends, of course, on your personal preference, but I hope that it is going to be a very, very chill job. Best of luck to you, and I'm also happy to see that life has been good to you. Xylence here has said, I'm just this weird and random casual YouTuber who just happened to stream, and right now my laziness is biting me in the bottom, and that is, I didn't organize my Valve channel, and now I'm paying the price. The thing is, like with the VODs, if you stream, Twitch automatically stores VODs of you anyway, and at least normally, like it does so automatically, and you can still download them and then edit them in Adobe Premiere or whatever video editing software that you have. I use Adobe Premiere, and what you can do is then just basically edit out things, or if you remember like, oh wait, on that day there was like a funny moment during that game, and then you basically like try to find it yourself. And that's why like having clippers in terms of like people in your chat who clip your stuff is very like extremely handy to have, to basically have like a lot of like digging work like done already, so that you don't have to manually go into your entire VOD in order to get a specific clip, right? That's why, again, these clippers would be very handy to have, and very it's very useful. And it's also like it connects people as well, where you know what makes people like clip stuff, right? If it's a clip and people like enjoy making certain clips of certain moments, then you kind of know what people enjoy like the most, or like most of the time during your stream, and that they find a specific moment worthy of like, yeah, this deserves a little highlight because I think it's funny, or I think this is important, or stuff like that, right? So that's why, again, if you have people in your chat that would like clip stuff for you, that's already a good thing. That would already be a very good thing to have. But in terms of laziness, I get that sometimes as well. So I think it's for everyone. Like every content creator might have like some moments of laziness, and then they, try to do whatever they can in their own terms, in their own pace, like to basically fix their laziness and kind of catch back up on things that they have been missing out on. Like, for example, for me, that would also be like a similar thing. And that's why like the YouTube shorts on my channel like have been very absent, because but for me, it's not that I'm lazy. It's more in the sense of I don't think that I'm an entertaining VTuber, and I'm not exactly someone very funny or energetic. Like there's nothing much like funny or entertaining happening in my stream. It's mostly very chill, like something that you can like put as a background noise kind of thing. But it's basically like the sense of, and that's also something that I've said in the very beginning of my streaming career, that for me, the sense of the streaming that I do, what I would like to do is create the image of, or this idea of me sitting right next to you playing video games. So basically that, it is not something that you would constantly like to watch, right? It's not like you would constantly watch me play video games, even though you would be sitting right next to me. Like you would be sometimes, just checking in and just listening basically and stuff like that. Just spending time together as if that I would be in the same room as you, but then just playing video games and just us talking whenever you like. So that's basically the essence that I would like to have, or the essence that I would like to bring over to you, so that people don't feel lonely anymore. Again, this is also one of the reasons why, because like I want to have a more connected thing, and that's why my interactions or my entertainment value comes more the more that the chat is active. And I know that sound like that is already a bad thing to start with, or a bad basis to have, because you cannot always rely on chats to do something. But for me, it's kind of the thing that if someone is active in chat, or chat in general is being active, I also become more active, and I kind of mirror that effect, right? I kind of become like the same thing. If someone talks like, "Hey Tabby, how are you? I'm doing good. How about you?" And then we keep building up, right? That's basically what I would like to do. And if someone is just talking about things, then I would also reply to that and then ask them questions, and we go back and forth. That is constantly what I would like to have. But sometimes that chat can be very chill, and they're just listening in. They're basically just lurking and just watching me play video games, and which is also fine. But yeah, I'm not exactly much of a talker, even though I've been talking already for the past 20 minutes. Yeah, that's basically the thing, that I just, I've never been a talker. I've always been more of a listener, and that's why I respond way more the moment that something is asked or said to me instead, right? So yeah, that's kind of like my dynamic. I don't know, I'm an introvert. I'm still socially awkward, even though people think like, oh, Tabby is this famous chumbermos VTuber and stuff like that. No, I am by no means like some kind of a, Oshi or goddess status or whatever. I'm just a random gal on the internet, and that's it. Like, I'm no one special. I'm by no means of any importance. I'm just, again, I'm also very socially awkward, and that shines out more than like when I'm in a room or with people that I do not know. And then I become very silent, very shut in. Because yeah, that's just, being an introvert, I guess, being very introverted. And, that is something that people still don't really realize about me. I get so many messages from people as well who say like, Tabby, like, I love you very much, like in a friendly, platonic way. And where they say like that I inspired them, to stream, for example, and to keep moving on, and that they were happy that they have found me, and that they, think that I'm this and that I'm that. And I'm thinking, I'm not that special. Like, why? Like, I appreciate the compliments, but for me, I still think that I'm just this very boring, introverted, shut-in individual. So I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. So I just want people. I just want to hang out with people, right? I just want to hang out with people and make them feel less lonely and not feel sad. And in case that they would like to talk to me or anyone in our community to help them through a difficult time, then we will be there for them always. So, and that's like the main gimmick of it. But let's switch over to like the YouTube side, because there was also a lot of things there. I also don't mind my YouTube recommendations and stuff like that. So let's see here. Ilbram Harker said, job sucks, weather sucks, bank accounts empty. I think that is basically what everyone is going through. We all suffer alike. We all suffer alike from an empty bank account. Yet we still ride. Side note and commenting just before work at 4 a.m. on a work day, and I'm glad you're reaching out. Haven't been to the streams because my friends got me back into Pal World. Been trying to 100% Abysses, and the new Ghost in the Shell series just came out 2 weeks ago, and it's been on my mind lately. I don't live with anyone, but I'm okay with the silence. I don't pontificate on how it's a superior lifestyle, because it too has its downfalls. But I've been in relationships and all of them haven't worked out. Honestly, they fizzled out, but the peace I feel is a sanctuary I hold dear. If you're lonely, I can sympathize and empathize. I'll see about hollering after work. But I do hope that you guys enjoy Pal World as well, because I've been seeing a lot of people who really enjoy it, because like with the 1.0 release that was, available not too long ago, and also like Ghost in the Shell series, I've seen like a little bit here and there. So I do hope that you enjoyed that as well. In terms of like anime, I've been like watching Shoujo Tensei season 3, which I'm very happy about. So I'm very curious where that will go as well. So you don't live with anyone. Same here. Like I don't have like a boyfriend or girlfriend. And I'm also living on my own. So I have my cats though. So I have Kuvia and Satana. Like they are just chilling around. And the reason why I got those two is just because I would feel just a little bit less lonely, just having a little bit of life in my house. And those two cats, like it's always nice to see them just at random spots and stuff like that. And they always like to spend time with me as well. So yeah. In terms of relationships, yeah, I'm also single. So I'm single, but I'm ready to mingle. Yeah, I haven't really been looking out for any new relationships. Would I like to be in one, a dedicated one, and hopefully my final one? Absolutely. So that is something that I would like to have, though, like some, someone in my life. I would really like that. So yeah. But yeah, the peace, like that, I can understand that too, because I am also very, I really enjoy my alone time. Again, me being an introvert and a social shut-in or social awkward shut-in, basically, then yes. Like for me, that is also a way for me to relax, basically, and wind down. So yeah, we're kind of in the same boat like that. Jacob here said, overall, I've been good. The job's been going well. A year-long 3D print project. What are you printing? A year-long 3D print project is finally coming to its final stage, and Pal World has almost destroyed my sleep. See, I don't know about Pal World. Has almost destroyed my sleep schedule with how much I've been playing it after work. How have you been? I've seen some of the stuff on Twitter, and I hope you're all right. Hope you have a good day or night or wherever or whenever you're reading this. Yeah, some shenanigans happened on Twitter as well, but that was like a week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. But yeah, Twitter be Twitter, I guess. Feel like every day something is happening on Twitter, or something's happening in the news in general, but also on Twitter, especially in the VTubing scene. There's always something going on that you think like, why is this still a thing? Why is this like a literal high school mentality kind of environment? And that's why I kind of wanted to talk about VTubers or the VTubing scene in general, with the next video that I would make, to kind of like point out some things here and there, because it is disturbing. For me, it is quite disturbing that it happens so often, right? And I don't think that's okay. I was always, no, I shouldn't be going to details. That's for a later video. That's for next week's video. But yeah, Pal World. So again, another victim that has fallen to Pal World's grasp on people's sleep schedule. So yeah, do rest well, do sleep well, please. Also, a year-long 3D print project. What are you printing? What are you printing? That's what I would like to know. What are you printing that it takes a year long? Do share. Please do share. Also, let me like the things, like little heart thing, so that people know that I've read it. That's why I do that, so that people see like, oh shit, Tabby has seen my comments. And like, again, that's very important to me that people have, people realize that like, hey, I give a shit about you guys. I read the stuff that you send me. So, but continuing on, Scribbled has said, I'm doing well. Lost my job about four-ish months ago. Basically, my job offers transfers, and after they initially transferred me away from home for 2 years, I'm managing 2 of their properties solo. I decided to transfer back home because my dad is finally getting a knee surgery. They ended up letting me go after 6 months. Okay, so yeah, I suppose that, yeah, with the job things and when it comes to like health and stuff like that, some companies or some businesses or some workplaces are more lenient and accepting of certain situations while others aren't. But yeah, I don't know the entire situation, but I do hope that you will find a proper job soon. Yeah, okay, so like here what I'm saying is, and now I'm just pursuing my dream job of being a digital artist, mainly VTuber character designs and illustrations, maybe some means for fun. Like in terms of digital artists, it is a very competitive world out there, and you really need to be able to stand out to do something, to really put yourself out there, right? And that is something that is going to be a struggle. It's the same with VTubers in general, streaming in general, that it's so saturated. There are a lot of VTubers, there are a lot of streamers, there are a lot of artists. So it's going to be the same thing. So it's going to be very difficult. But if you have like some kind of a thing that makes you unique from everyone else in terms of like a certain style, maybe a certain handling of your artwork, then you have way more of a chance. Like if you're gonna copy someone else's style, most of the time it's not gonna work out. So, but I'm sure that you already do that. So, but here you're continuing on saying, just taking it one day at a time, helping my dad and mom with things around the house during the day and drawing in the evening until 2 a.m. I'm 36 with some savings or figure what better time to do so. I have a fairly good support system with my friends, but I do feel like a bit of a loser for being 36 and ending up back home with parents. Like I'll be good for a month or so, but then I kind of have a mini panic attack for a day or two. Have a mini panic attack, for a day or two. Of this might be a mistake before resetting. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was like trying to, my brain was not able to read that sentence for whatever reason. But yeah, I get it. So you basically, like, you have some moments where, if I had to guess, you're criticizing yourself for like being like back with your parents again, because of situations. And you know, sometimes you will be put in situations that is without your control or beyond your control. And that is maybe a very important lesson as well to know for everyone, that life in general and whatever is happening is beyond your control. Because think about it, if everything was within your control, wouldn't you already be super happy right now with everything that your heart desired? Just saying. But that's why it's very important to realize, while you can do things to get certain things, it doesn't mean that therefore you are in control, right? So that's why it's a very important lesson to learn that while you don't have everything in control, it doesn't therefore mean that you're unhappy, right? Because also, like here in your situation, like your parents, like considering that they brought you back in, I mean, I'm sure that they are doing this out of love too, and that they want to support you. So you're fortunate that you have a place to go to still. And there's other people that aren't as fortunate, but also I'm not saying that I'm saying like, oh, you are so lucky you have your parents and this like that. But it's more in the sense of, it's just a minor setback, and your parents most likely know this because you've already been able to do so, on your own. And you said also that you're helping your parents with doing things around the house, which is also a very good thing to do. And maybe this also leaves more opportunities for you to kind of reconnect with your parents again in a more intimate way, because of course if you don't live with your parents anymore, like it happens very often where the relationship between parents and their children, like it kind of separates, it kind of like dissipates a little bit, it deteriorates a little bit because of the distance, because you don't see each other as regular as you used to, like when you were still living with your parents. So this could be an opportunity again to kind of connect again with your parents. So it's a good thing. You should be able to definitely make time of that, make use of that time with your parents now that you have the time. So I would definitely try doing that. But continuing on, I'm seeing here Melon Chunk, also known as Choker, our favorite resident e-girl, saying, at the moment of typing this, eating, getting ready to go to my second job interview, went to the doctors a bit earlier, had blood drawn, so I wait for the results. And well, I wish I can say I'm okay. After losing my fast food job, I kind of fell into a constant state of stress, wondering if I can never help pay off bills again, buy food, save money. So I hope something comes out of this interview. I pray, but my faith is odd. I do believe, but I'm just so unsure. I guess. Okay, like that. Okay, so I do believe, but I'm just so unsure, I guess. Okay, about my faith. Times I pray, times I don't. I think about my faith. I watch videos and shorts regarding my faith and Christ. Seeing and reading these things make me happy, makes me hopeful, but I can't seem to even get my foot through the door. If any of that makes sense. I pray and beat myself up at times too, because being lonely does suck. I try to kick the goon out of my life. Good, keep it up. But I always come back. Yeah. I hate myself for it. One addiction I need gone, and maybe I can start being a better person I want to be. I need a lot of self-work done, and I really don't know where to begin. I need to try more, at least. First and foremost, like I said previously, with the whole lust shenanigan, is that it is a very nasty thing to get rid of, and it will like get a grip on top of it. It will literally grip you down. And this is literally this again. I have not read this one before, so didn't I just say before in one of my previous responses that it kind of rewires people? Didn't I see what I'm talking about? See, evidence is right here, right fucking here. See, I'm not trying to shit talk Chunker here in this case. No, it's just that it's a testimony. It's a testimony of, and literally evidence of the thing that I kept saying about like this whole lustful goon shit going around, this goon culture basically going around and doing this to people. It does this to people like you're seeing right here. So again, like, see, I mean, case in point in case, just like this, see? But yeah, for like the whole faith thing, I kind of feel the same way. I also have doubts. Like I also have doubts quite regularly. It's not that like I'm like all the time, like 100%, like no doubts whatsoever. And I feel like having doubts still makes you a healthy person and a good person, because you are able to see things in a critical standpoint, but you're also like not delusional, right? Because there are also people who would say like all kinds of things that they 100% believe in, even though like you also know that they're kind of wrong in certain aspects. And the fact that you doubt and question things makes it sure that you are curious for the truth, right? And that's a good thing, meaning that you want to build more and you want to be sure and do your research before you actually do things, right? And that's a good thing. So that's why, like, don't beat yourself up when, you know, if you're unsure. It's a good thing. Like, if you're unsure, it means that you want to know the truth. And then that curiosity will basically make you look for more things, which is exactly where I'm at right now. I have been for quite a while, actually, where I would basically, like, I do believe, like, in, like, aspects of Christianity and stuff like that. I also have doubts where I'm like, can I be sure about this? Like, are we sure? And then, like, certain events happening in my life, for example, or certain things that I see happening that I'm thinking and having doubts, like, why is this happening? Or why is this here? Why are we here? Like, stuff like that. Like, it makes me question things. Then I start looking up things and me, like, asking, like, all kinds of philosophical things. And, you know, it's a very interesting journey to go on to. And then, like that, again, you find more things, right? It makes you find more things. Like, through this whole thing that I'm saying, maybe in one sentence, I would say that you doubting makes you find more things that you originally didn't or wouldn't be able to find should you not be having any doubts whatsoever, right? So don't you worry about that. but always, keep your head held high and always, handle. That's why I keep saying things like, I keep saying this, handle in truth, handle in kindness, handle in love. And that's why those quotes, there's like some quotes that I put like on Twitter as well. Like there was like 4 videos that I posted of like quotes that I really liked. Like one was from The Chosen, which is like from a scripture thing when Jesus was talking to Peter, where he says, man makes it much more hard on himself if he leans on his own understanding. And then also a quote from Kingdom of Heaven, where the Hospitaller is saying like what God desires is here and here. What he does with like the first here is aim at the head, like basically saying that what God desires is a rational mind. And then the second here, he aims at the heart, so a good kindness, kind heart. And then after that, he says, and whatever you do every day shall make you a good man or not. And that's the thing, like that's also something that I would like to repeat often over and over again, is that sometimes I need to like double check on myself as well, where it's like, am I actually doing things that I think, is this right to do? Like, is this the right thing to do? And that's why like I keep going through these quotes over and over again, like thinking like, am I actually doing the things like what I do in my day-to-day things, the things that I respond, things that I say, things that I do, things that I look at, like, is this something that would make me a good person or not? Is this something that that God would desire, right? That's something that I just look for myself. And it doesn't mean like, for me, like I don't think that God would expect you to be the perfect holy child, right? And he knows that. I'm 100% that he knows that we are human beings. We will always have faults. We will always fall. Always. There's no doubt about that. And he knows that. But it doesn't mean that if you don't try, that therefore, you're doomed or something like that. No, the point is to keep trying. And the point that you keep trying, like in terms of your job as well, means that you still want to do something better, not only for yourself, but also for people around you as well, right? And that's the thing, that is basically the essence of, again, do things in kindness, do things in truth, do things in love, and let all the things that you do be done in love, which is also a verse from Corinthians, I think it's 16:14, where it says, let all the things you do be done in love. And that is basically what I want to try to do all the time as well. And I'm sure that that is also a thing that you could also kind of like apply to your life as well, even though I'm sure that you already know that. But there's something that I would like to advise to you, I guess. I mean, you don't have to listen to me, okay? I'm just a random gal on the internet. Don't, But in terms of like the goon out of your life, and again, I don't blame you, because the world right now, especially online, it is kind of revolving around the accessibility of all kinds of lewd, basically. And it makes it very easy as well. Like I said before, it's very easy, it's very accessible. And people, because they are so lonely, it is so easy to fall into the whole lewd like content based with the whole NSFW content, because it makes you feel good. It's literally dopamine that is being fed to you over and over again. It's addictive, and that's why it's a very nasty thing to fight against. And it's like I said before, it's literally like a drug. And like what you are saying here in this comment here is that it's literally like a drug. It's addictive. You keep going back to it. It's literally like a drug that you try to get rid of, that you know that it's not good. You know that it's not good for you, but you still come back. And that's like the worst part. And again, this is exactly why I am so vocal against like YouTubers or like OnlyFans, Fansy, and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'm very much against that, especially for those who profit off of that, because it wires people their brains and it makes people say or do things that otherwise wouldn't be okay, that otherwise just aren't okay in general, but they still do it and they still find it okay somehow for some reason, and they don't see an issue with that. And all the things of their Oshis and their whatever, or their the people that they subscribe to on OnlyFans and Fansly, they get the money while you guys are getting fucked over financially, mentally, and in a relationship and loving wise as well. Like you guys are getting fucked over, just not in a way that you want it to be fucked, right? So that's why I'm so vocal against it. But that's why, again, there are ways to get past this whole like love thing, and I feel like that could be an interesting thing to tackle as well during one of my other videos that I will make about the whole love aspect, right? I feel like that might be interesting. to tackle like the whole goon stuff or the whole porn stuff, basically, of getting that tackled as well, that topic. But here the Elemental Wanderer said, Tabby, hello there. Since you pretty much asked to respond here, we'll catch you up here. Beginning of the year was a roller coaster, not easy. Still, when discovering one was pretty much right in assuming entire family wow, I cannot read that. What the fuck? But not easy still when discovering one was pretty much right in assuming entire family pretty much hated them from the get-go. Okay. Sorry, I just was that sentence a little bit, okay. Yet they deluded themselves into thinking otherwise when actions spoke louder than their words ever could. I'm safe and now finally on my own, just surviving after getting settled down and saving up enough. Gonna go for a license at last and just more freedom. The one main goal I do have, changing my legal name. IRL name is, it's not that bad name of the context, but within context, the story behind how I got my first name is as uncanny as it is very disgustingly undertone, if I can articulate it like that. I'm gonna give myself a name more dignified to who I am as a person. So in short, living my 20s in my 30s. Well, okay. A bit of confusing thing to read. Sorry, that could be just me. I do hope that you're doing okay. Whatever family things are going on right now, I don't know the entire context because you're not also giving a lot of context, and not that you have to. But from what I can tell is that you're kind of trying to separate yourself a little bit from the family issues so that you can live on your own and basically have the freedom that you would like to have. It kind of feels like you want to almost completely separate from your family. And I mean, because you're going as drastic as into like changing your name, basically, like changing your legal name. So that means that, yeah, it's not exactly a very healthy thing going on right now. And again, like, I hope the things will turn out for the better. And I feel like talking things through will still be the option that you will have to go through in order to like save the family as well and just like making amends. And doesn't mean that everything has to be like fine and dandy and stuff like that, but more in the sense of making sure that you can just reconnect at least in a civil, respectful manner. But considering like some serious shit has apparently happened that you even need to go change your legal name. So sounds a bit it is a very serious thing. And again, I don't really know the context, of course, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but I do hope that things will go out okay. And if you need, if you want to talk about it, DMs are open, and maybe I can give like a more direct kind of answer or like how some things might be approached. But at the moment, that's what I can work with right now. A real Dequan said, "Been okay. Wish it was better, but one day at a time. It's still hurting all over now and then, but manageable. How's your health lately?" My health has been doing quite okay, actually. Doing okay, not many issues right now, but I do have that your health is doing okay. And I suppose like this was again 4 days ago that I'm seeing here that reply. I'm not sure, was it from a wrestling thing that you were doing? Because like for those that don't know, Quan is like a wrestler thing. But it was like some kind of exercise or something along those lines that you were doing. But don't overtrain or overexert yourself to the point that your body is hurting. Like don't go Kaioken times 20 when you can't handle a single Kaioken, right? Basically like that, right? Sorry, just thinking Dragon Ball because one of the recommendation things is actually a Dragon Ball stuff, a Dragon Ball thing. Yeah, so that's why, again, like don't go, don't overexert yourself. Don't do anything crazy because otherwise you're gonna regret it later on. Because when you will be older, like 70 years old or something like that, you will think of whatever happened to you at this time, being like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? Like something along those lines. Also, I just want to double check if I liked every response or like put the heart there. But yeah, of course I keep forgetting Chonker. Sorry, Chonker. Sorry to our beloved e-girl in our community. But let's see here. Happy Master said, it's Arizona. I'm burning. Work has been brutal for it. I suppose that you work outside, maybe? What exactly is your holdout finding someone, Tabby? Did you play the latest Metroid Prime? Okay, first and foremost, I suppose in Arizona you are going to be, I mean, is that a more southern states? I don't know. I'm not American, contrary to many beliefs. But I'm not American, so Arizona. I think that it is somewhere in the south. But I hope that you're doing okay. But yeah, getting to know a man with a voice changer across the country. I mean, if you know that it is a man, I mean, what do you mean with getting to know? Like, do you mean like in a loving relationship, kind of getting to know someone, or like in a romantic thing, or is it just like a friend that you've seen online and being like, yeah, I'm getting to know this person that uses a voice changer, and then you do something like that? Or how should this sentence be approached? I don't know. What exactly is your holdouts finding someone? You mean what my opinion is on finding someone in terms of a relationship thing? For me, I would say that you shouldn't be rushing things. You shouldn't be rushing finding someone. And I feel like this might also be a good thing to tag into, or to put in the next video, well, not the next video, but the one after that, for like the love topic thing. Because yeah, rushing or like trying to find someone just to have someone in your life is never going to work out. So don't do that. So that's why I would find it more important to find someone that you truly can be with for the rest of your life, rather than just being like, I just want to have someone, right? Because if you have that second mindset where you just want to have someone, it is not going to last 100%. And what you would like to have is just to have someone that would be someone that you can be around with all the time, right? They're like a good friend. That kind of feels like your best friend, while also being your girlfriend or boyfriend, depending, you know. I'm not judging Happy Master. But yeah, basically that where you can, you know, spend time with, and that you don't find it's, you know, annoying to be around a certain person. You cannot want to be in a relationship, or you should not be wanting someone to be in a relationship with you if you just like them because they look nice, or they look beautiful, or they look hot, or something like that. Well, you know, that is not a valid reason to have someone, because then if that is the only reason and a primary reason why you like someone, then, you know, what about everything else? Because there could be a lot of factors that kind of make things a bit of a turnoff. So that's why always be considerate of your choices. Also, did you play the latest Metroid Prime? I have, but I have not completed it, and I don't plan to complete it because the game is garbage. Metroid Prime 4 is a garbage Metroid game. Don't play it. If you really want, like, I honestly think that Other M is even better. Don't, yeah, I'm not gonna bother with Prime 4. But here Manuel said, well, doing great. I just recovered from my operation. I hope things are going well. What did you do? What happened that you needed to have some kind of a surgery going on? Returning to work in a few days. Going to Sweden in 3 weeks of my family life. Going to Sweden in 3 weeks of my family. Life really can't get any better. I do hope that your trip to Sweden is gonna be very nice. Like, is it there to you're just visiting, right? You're not trying to, or are you visiting Sweden because your family is there, or are you literally going to Sweden with your family, right? But I do hope that things go well in Sweden, and I wish you lots of fun in the Swedeland. But I was starting to learn a few skills in a while. What kind of skills, though? What do you or what are you aspiring to train or tutor yourself in terms of skills? But other than that, yeah, the sole problem I run into is fighting my soulmates. Okay, yeah. I fear that my heart fills itself with contempt after what happened that year. And again, this is also another thing that I would like to tag or to talk about in the love video thing, where, again, like it's an epidemic basically right now where relationships are at an all-time low, and honestly, society has made it that way. The things that are happening all over the world in terms of like Western society is that people like men and women are kind of like set up against each other. Because it's like a study that I've seen that most of the men vote right, for example, and most of the women vote left. So that's already a big issue. Because, you know, the right and the left, you know, in terms of working together doesn't always go that well. So that is already like a beginning, like, block basically that people have to get over. And it's kind of insane. Like, I don't do this left or right thing. I'm just like, you know, just commonsensical things. Like, I'm not a right wing or I'm not a left wing, even though people would think that I'm, you know, I'm some right wing, this and that and whatever. But I feel like for me, I'm just like common sense, like, you know, stuff like just very, very commonsensical things that, you know, should be acceptable and should not be acceptable when it comes to certain topics and things like that. So, and I'm not being hateful. Like, there's also a thing is that once you are thinking differently from one party, then therefore you are their enemy and vice versa. Like, it's insane. And that's already like a beginning thing that makes it very difficult for people to connect, generally speaking, even if it is not for like dating or anything like that, not even for dating purposes. That's why, again, like, I wish that there was a thing that I could say to be like, yeah, do this or you will definitely find your soulmate, because at the moment it's almost impossible. And I don't want to discourage people, but we have to do something to make sure that we can connect with people again, and that people can start loving each other again for the person that they are and not what they believe in. Crazy idea, but that's basically what we should have been doing all this time. And we used to do that for quite a while, but for some reason now, everything just likes to be like throwing things like one team against the other, have these bubbles and these tribes, basically, this us versus them mentality. And that is already like a horrible start to be, you know, working with in order to actually connect with people. So again, don't blame yourself for like not finding your soulmate. I'm also single and I'm also looking for my soulmate. I wish that I had one, and I'm looking for one. So at the moment, again, I'm in the same boat as you, and I wish that I had an answer to help you out, but I quite don't. Like, again, for me, the beginning step that would be very good to have is just have people basically accept each other for who they are, for the person that they are, rather than whatever they align with politically wise, or whatever they identify as, or whatever they like for their interests, or whatever they even look like. Just love people for who they are. And that doesn't mean that you have to love everyone. It's more in the sense of that we don't fight each other constantly for the slightest differences. Like, that would already be a very good start in order to get like this whole dating thing back on its wheels, to having a lot of relationships and stuff like that. But Mega Man, ZX Knight, I know who you are. Better known as Klonoa, said, I'm doing good. Job. Oh, my job? Yeah. I am job. Hi, job. But my job has been slow, but it's all right. Me and family went to my brother's house for 4th of July, and nice to catch up with my brothers and meet my other cousins, nieces, and nephews. Because I know you as Klonoa, and especially with like your profile picture being like the Splatoon thing, why am I imagining that like your entire family is just like a whole squad of like inklings and octolings and stuff like that? I don't know. I always like, whenever I hear people or whenever I see names, I kind of like visualize them IRL as their profile picture. So yeah, that's like a thing that I do. I don't know, I could be weird, but I feel like it's a nice visual to have, and I don't want to be, you know, ruining my image of what I think people look like based on their profile picture or based on their voice or stuff like that. Like, there's always like some kind of an image that I kind of project in my mind to be like, yeah, I think this is the person, this is what they look like, you know, stuff like that. Something silly, just as a little anecdotes. Spent a night at a hotel and went home in the morning. Went to hang out with my high school friends the other day to catch with life, and went shopping a bit. What did you shop though? Did you buy anything? And in terms of shopping, like, do you mean shopping, or more like you go to a certain shop, like a game store of some sorts, and then you know exactly like, yeah, I want this, and then you know, not like window shopping, basically, what I'm trying to say. So far I'm doing alright, other than dealing with the heat, but I'm good. How about you, Tabby? I am doing okay. And also to the previous one, who also asked me how I'm doing. But I'm doing okay. I'm currently making this video. Surprisingly, we are already 56 minutes in, and I didn't expect this video to be so long. But again, I want to make clear that I want to make this like very personal and very connecting with you guys, so that you guys, see, like I mean this. I want to talk to you guys. I want to interact with you guys. I want to keep things interactive with you guys. So that's why, again, I want to take my time into actually connecting with you guys properly, and not just being like some simple response and simple like an emote or something like that. Just a actual response here that I would like to show to you guys. Like, hey, we can connect. We can talk to each other, even though we're not always able to talk in VCs or in chat and stuff like that. But at least through this, that there is a way for you to connect with me and for me to connect with you, and also for all of you who are currently watching the video to connect with the people on screen that you see, like in their responses and stuff like that, while also kind of getting the vibe of what we stand for as a community. So, this stuff. I don't know why I'm doing thumbs up. I was like doing thumbs up, like to my camera. It's like, yeah, but I don't have my hand tracking on. Yeah, whatever. But I'm glad that you're doing okay, Klonoa, and I do hope that it was a wonderful time with your high school friends as well, and that you got a lot of neat things from the shopping. And do tell what you got from the shopping, if you got anything at all. But yeah, I do hope that all went well. Chris said here, if someone was dead set on starting a VTubing career right now, what would your advice be? You can't say don't. What I will say, and it will be a short response, is I will say that, or I will mention that in the next video where we tackle this whole VTuber thing. So you will have to be patient for that. So yeah, I will cock you here, right here and now, Chris, with that response. And then as last here, we see Lerdsmeh saying sup. Also, that profile picture is fun. I'm doing okay. How about you? Sup. But I'm doing okay. But I do hope that you're also doing okay. And thank you so very much for leaving a reply. And yeah, do tell, like, what is up with you? Have you been doing anything nice? Has anything happened in your life? It's something recently that you've been looking out for, or that you're looking forward to, rather, that you'd like to do? Any games that you're into? Shows, anime, things, work, anything. But yeah, that is basically, as far as I know, like all the responses and all the comments on this video where I wanted to talk to you guys, and like that we have done so. I would like to do these regularly, at least like once a month, to have this kind of moment to actually talk to you guys and basically like connect with you guys. And I'm very happy, and I feel privileged that I'm able to meet all of you, to be able to do this, to be able to talk to you guys, because again, literally I have no one in my life. I'm as solitary as possible. I have no boyfriend or girlfriend. Like in terms of IRL friends, I only have one who very rarely, occasionally talks to me or like hangs out with me. That's about it. So I don't really have anyone that would really, like hang out with me regularly. Like other than that, it's just me and you guys. So I thank you for that. I thank you guys for being willing to spend time with our community, spend time with each other, and spend time with me. And I will always be thankful for that. And all of that, by the way, all of this will always be free of charge. I will not ask people to pay me to hang out with me, okay? I'm not gonna do that, even though there's a lot of people that do, but I won't ever do that. So, because I respect you guys too much, I love you guys too much, that it would feel absolutely scummy to do so. So for me, again, like I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and I hope to see you again in maybe a next edition of this thing. You can always, like, the same people can reply, by the way, just in case. Like, you can always respond to these things if you would like. So, for example, in a next edition of this kind of interactive video thing, like whatever replies or comments are on this video in particular, then I would respond to that like in the one after that, and then so forth and so on. So it's like this continuous loop basically of me responding to the previous one, or if I would make another update like, hey guys, I would like to talk to you guys again, leave your comments, replies with whatever you've been up to, stuff like that. Like I will let you guys know, or it will just be from the replies on this video in particular. So We'll see how we do things. There is no rush or anything like that. But I appreciate you guys so very much for being willing to spend time with me. And I would always like to spend time with you. So, again, if you guys would like to DM me, you always can hit me up on Discord, please, if you would like to. But the reason why I don't like Twitter DMs is because it's very finicky to work with. And sometimes like certain DMs get literally hidden that I have to go click like a bajillion times for me to finally see your message. So that's why I prefer Discord, because it's way easier and I just see it instantly, right? So that's why if you would like to DM me, please do so on Discord. You don't have to if you don't want to. I don't bite. Even though people think like I'm this spooky VTuber thing and whatever, that I'm this evil person and shenanigans. Like, no, like if you would like to DM me, you always can. I will try to respond to you as soon as possible. And for like a next video thing, like if you want to say things or want me to respond to you, again in a video thing like this, again leave a reply here on this video in particular, not the one that you're seeing on screen, but this one here right now, and I will put that in the next video then. Of like responding to you in a more direct way like this. So I do hope that this is a little fun dynamic that we can get going on between the two of us. So the two of us, all of us basically. So yeah, I do appreciate you guys again for all the love and support that you guys have given the community, and the time that you guys have been spending time with each other. Like, and I really like that because I see like in our community in Discord as well. Like very often I would see people hanging out in VCs, spending time with each other, and that's exactly what I wanted from the get-go. So that's why I'm very happy and very proud of you guys of doing so and helping people's lives like be better in general, and spending time with them, making them feel less lonely, and that they have a place to turn to. This is all thanks to you guys. I didn't do anything. This is all thanks to you guys. So thank you so very much for making this community the way that it is. So it's all thanks to you. So thank you again. And again, hopefully I will maybe see you in the next video. And remember that I love you all for being you.